Streaming.
Right. Now I think we're live.
Okay.
I think we click go live. I think we're okay now. Apologies about that, but for some reason, OBS being an absolute piece of shit, much like that game was. But welcome to the post-match review. Chelsea 1, Manchester United 0. And we have to start off with Rasmus Højlund, ladies and gentlemen. Starting up top with that man who can't hold the ball, can't link play, can't shoot, is like basically parking a shopping trolley in a boxing ring. It's technically there, but it's getting bounced around. It offers no resistance and contributes absolutely nothing to the fight. There's an analogy for you. You can stick that in your back pocket. Yeah, there's no other place I want to start. There's I would say loads of things then. It's being generous. There was things that we could discuss, but it has to start with that striker, Sam. How bad was that? That's got to be one of the worst cameos you've ever seen from a striker, innit? Up there.
Yeah, like I don't like piling on players like normally, and I think that the stuff that Højlund's got is quite a lot recently. Like most of it, fair criticism, but yeah, tonight was bad. I don't think he did. Like there was a couple. Was it the last game or a couple of games ago? He did a couple of things well, and you're like, okay, there's bits and pieces there. Nothing went well today. I can't remember a single thing. The bit that made me lose my head was the bit where Ahmad cut in and he plays it to him, and then he's got Mason Mount coming into the centre. If he plays it off, he gets a full-on strike. He takes 3 touches, stumbles over the ball, and then gets tackled. And you just like, what are we supposed to do with that?
He's really bad.
Can Onana stop hitting the ball to him? Just stop.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Just stop.
But I don't know what we do because the build-up is so bad. It's so bad. Especially in that last kind of 10 minutes when Mainu came on. Trying to build up from the back when they just started pressing us was one of the most painful things I've ever watched. So then Onana goes, well, we can't build up. We'll go long. And then when we go long, it's Rasmus Højlund wrestling with the centre-backs again. And I don't think I'd go as far as to say I don't think he won one duel today.
No.
And probably out of 13, 15, I mean, that Adebayo just had him in his pocket, mate. Like he was a new prisoner on a new wing. Bad.
I mean, any centre-back in the world can handle Rasmus Højlund at this point. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just...
But it's like he's absolutely just been shattered as a player.
Yeah.
You know, like confidence-wise, ability-wise, like, because under Erik ten Hag, we did see flares of, you know, bits be like, okay, there's a player to work with there.
Yeah.
When I watched that performance then, I'm like, there is nothing to work with. First touch is extremely rash. He's not positioning himself correct. He's not even making the right decisions when he does get the ball. It takes him about 20 attempts to win it in the first place. It's like, he's as a manager, as a coach, you must be watching that game and just thinking, how on earth has he's played 50 games this season, Rasmus.
And it's like, Amorim's looking at his bench going, I wish I had a striker I could put.
My God, does he need it?
I somebody else that I could play there. For like, I'm at the point now where it's just like, in the Europa League final, do we just stick Mainu in a false 9 at this point? Or somebody in a false 9? Because...
How could it be worse?
We're effectively going to be playing with 10 men against Spurs if we play up top.
Yeah. Because Van der Ven and Romero will deal with him.
So let's at least have somebody who can receive the ball, who's good on the ball, and can make better decisions than he can. Because I don't know, man. Yeah, Brian in the chat, Start Maguire, he had better striker instincts than fucking Højlund did for that goal that was marginally offside.
Yeah.
Like, positioning was great. He was like a shoulder. If his head wasn't so big, he would have been onside. And his finish was fantastic. Things we've never seen from Højlund this season.
No.
So, I'm out of words, man. I'm really not. I'm out of words.
Let's start with that because I think that's probably a good starting point in regards to the game. The first 20 minutes was actually a little bit surprising. I was like, okay. I thought the press from the front from us as a collective was better because Mount, Ahmad, Højlund, for all these people say, you know, but it does work hard. So we was forcing errors at times. The keeper looked a little bit shaky. The defenders were playing out, and I was like, okay, we've got a bit of a hold on him here. It's a good start. Maguire scores, and you're like, okay, this is almost a perfect start, and he's offside by, I mean, what is it? Like a shoulder blade or like...
A tip of his shoulder, like a part of his head.
Like offside is offside, obviously, that's all fair. But, I mean, you think if you score that goal, the pressure on Chelsea because of the situation that we're in, when that goes in, you're probably thinking, okay, the best possible start in it. And then you watch how the game ends, Sam, and you just like I don't get it. I don't understand us as a team.
After 30 minutes, we just sort of stopped playing. Like we just stopped. Like it just seemed like the confidence went. Like it's like, oh, we can't score in the first 30 minutes. Let's just not bother. Like let's just pack it in, and that's it. Then Chelsea just took control after that, and we just didn't really see the ball like at all in the first half. And then second half, just much of the same, but probably worse after we made the subs. Like I think once Ugarte came on, we just became wide open in that midfield. Like Casemiro going off and Mount going off, just the midfield just disappeared completely. And he's just like, yeah. And then, they got their goal. So I don't know how many times we can review this performance because it's the same performance every week.
And not only that, it's the same thing that we saw under previous coaches. Exact same. We were saying about the FA Cup final under Ten Hag when De Gea kept going long, we kept losing it, and then the recycled possession because we couldn't really build up from the back because we'd make mistakes and people would pressurise us. Even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, like playing out with Maguire and Shaw, looked really awkward, and we've got the same players in the back line. So how you haven't got the same players? How do you expect different results? It's impossible. Yeah. It's impossible.
Also, can we touch on the referee as well? Because what was going on there?
Just let the game play slightly as well. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ!
But how is Tyreek George going down for diving, not getting booked, and then Ahmad goes down for diving and he's booked?
Yeah.
Like, fair enough. If Ahmad's dived, he gets booked. I've got no problem with that. But apply it to the same logic. If he's not a penalty, he's dived. So because Onana gets the ball. Yeah. So why is he not booked?
Do you know what though? When he went down initially, I asked my girlfriend. I was screaming at the TV. I was like, "You fucking idiot! Why have you done that?" Blah, blah, blah. Obviously, I hadn't seen the other side of it because I was like, "This is such an Onana thing to do right before the final. Just fucking trip him up." And I was like, "That is so naive." But obviously, you found out that he's dived after it. You're like, "Whew, that's okay." But before that, we had Reece James with an effort where he just hit the post. That was probably like the best effort of the game, and he was involved yet again. Did really well, didn't it, for the Cucurella goal?
There's the Madueke one where he's played in and he just skies it before the Reece James one as well.
But Onana on that? Is that the way where he palms it into him? Is that the same one?
That's the second one.
Ah, right, okay.
The one in the first half, Madueke cuts in and he just, I think Cole Palmer plays the ball across and he just blasts it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I remember,
so
but yeah.
That could have been 2-0 like straight away before the Reece James. But yeah, the Reece James turn, what a fucking turn that was.
Yeah, Jesus, it was nice. You have to sometimes you have to sit back and you have to like appreciate like a quality in it. It was a good goal. You can't say anything about it, but the one thing that worries me, well, there's plenty of things that worry me, but the one standout was when Pedro Neto and Madueke was getting in those spaces. When sometimes you can exploit the gaps in Amarin's system because of the wing back and the centre back, those wide channels. When he was getting in those areas, he was causing damage. And I look at Spurs when they got quick players like Son and Brennan Johnson. I don't know who's going to be available at centre back or wing back, but that's an issue in it going forward.
Mazraoui was getting done continuously by Madueke.
He's fucked.
Like he just. He's fucked, but he was just getting.
He was.
If Madueke's finishing was any better, he might have like come away with a couple of goals because he just had him like every single time. So yeah, it was just disappointing, man. Really disappointing. Cole Palmer looked. He was quiet for the most part, but he looked a little bit that he's putting some passes together and he's making things happen, making things tick. So I suppose we got lucky with that because if he shows up normally, we're in serious trouble. That Onana thing where the ball comes in and he palms it out straight into the 6-yard box again, like
a toddler, innit? Really,
I can't do this anymore. Why is he palming it into the 6-yard? Why is that his technique? Why is it every single time? Just, let's palm it into the danger area.
It's bizarre.
I don't understand it.
It's very, very bizarre. Not only that, I mean, there's a scope across the pitch. You can go at striker, you can go at defensive player. The midfield as well. Caicedo and Enzo ran that midfield. It was Bruno was trying. Casemiro, as we know, struggles with physicality. That's why he's been much better in the Europa League. But when there's two in there, I know sometimes players drop in like Mount or whatever. It just seems like they get swallowed up because Palmer kept dropping in as well in the little pockets of space and causing problems. I mean, it's never been more evident for me, at least, that you need a player like Caicedo in our system who just gets about the pitch. Like, got player in the match as well, I think. Good on the ball. Just really, really good off the ball as well, defensively. you watch that, and obviously they paid a lot of money for both the players. They spent like what we're probably going to spend in the summer, about 200 million on 2 players. So you kind of get that, but it was night and day in a lot of areas, which worries me. What was your thoughts just on before the game when the teams got announced? Like, was you a bit annoyed or?
Yeah, I don't understand why he went strong. Like, the risk versus the reward just wasn't there, was it? Like, what possible reward could we get from playing such a strong team? Like, I know you say like confidence and momentum going into the final. Like, I understand that, but say Ahmad gets injured, say Bruno gets injured, say someone like that gets injured, important player who could potentially win the final for us. What happens then? Like, how would you handle that, especially with a 1-0 loss? Like, so yeah, I didn't understand that team at all.
For me, the way I was looking at it, and after it now, luckily no players got injured or anything, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, if that was the run out or the tryout for the final, if you're going to perform like that in the final, I think you get beat. Even though Spurs are bad, I just do. I think because you're struggling with that threat of the wide players, and you weren't really dealing with it. And then the last 20 minutes, it just felt like you was just waiting for the game to end. Now, obviously, the final will be different. There's something to play for. There's a trophy there. But they're so flaky, these players, that the mentality and just that it's like they know it's the last 10 minutes. Oh, we just get through this last 10 and you know, it's just the final next.
Let's not get injured. Let's not risk anything. Let's not run too hard and tire ourselves out.
Yeah. Embarrassing, really. Let's go to the comment section, and please do, if you have anything in you, any strength left, leave a like on the video for us and subscribe to the channel. Danny's saying, I would have pulled Højlund off there, and then after he lost the ball and put his head down instead of running back. Even a defender up front to make a point, run. I mean, Xerxes in that moment would have been nice, wouldn't it, to bring on. Sorry. I mean, he probably wouldn't be on the bench if he's starting, I think. Is the 62-year-old goalkeeper coach available? That's from Nath.
I'll take it.
Gamer TV saying, I wonder what this manager's excuse is going to be. Full strength squad. It's interesting, isn't it? How the fuck do we play with 5 defenders and they get a free header? It's a joke. Referee was absolutely shocking too. Some crazy decisions. The thing that was annoying me with the ref, when it got to extra time, they soaked up about 6 minutes of that. Sin-free, basically. They got the odd yellow card, but I just felt like the whole 7 minutes we was watching them in the corner flag. And Cole Palmer wasting time. It was really annoying. Amarin started sporting the same, made 12 changes after his first season, and we all know how that went. We all want 10 players out, wonder why the same 10 players we deem not good enough won't win. George didn't dive. Onana elbow took his ankle. Sam.
No, he didn't. Watch the replay. He doesn't touch him. He gets the ball, and then the guy dives because he's expecting contact, and it doesn't come. He dives.
Starting Shaw left wing back over Dorgu, who doesn't look ready yet. No end product and sloppy. I think he means for the final. But then he's playing at centre back. It depends who's available there. I'll give you 2 midfielders like Sado, Stack, and Edison. No injuries was the most important thing today. We say we don't care about these games and cry when we lose them. Let's wait till next season with new players in the pre-season. Big up. I was in the wrong back in Rasmus.
Can I just say, I'm not crying about the result or losing stuff. I'm crying about the performance and the effort. That's what bothers me. Like, if we put in a bunch of effort and we tried, and you saw him working hard and trying stuff, and then we concede that really good goal by Reece James, fair enough. Games go that way. Sometimes that happens. But there's no fucking effort. There's nobody trying. There's nobody putting anything in. So that's what bugs the fuck out of me.
This is quite stark. Manchester United's last 8 Premier League results, Sam. You ready for this? Beat by Chelsea 1-0. Beat by West Ham 2-0. Beat by Brentford 4-3. Drew with Bournemouth 1-1. Lost to Wolves 1-0. Lost to Newcastle 4-1. Drew with City. Lost to Forest 1-0. And scored 4 goals, I think, during that period. That is astronomically bad, isn't it?
Yeah. You look at, we're facing Spurs, who I think they've lost 21 games this season. So arguably the only team who are worse than us or on a par with us. Like,
it's crazy, isn't it?
You put that thing in the chat. Blackpool went down relegated with how many points was it?
It was 39 points, I think, something like that. 39
points.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and we know how bad Blackpool were in that season as well.
Yeah, so it was in 2011. Blackpool relegated from the Premier League with a record of 10 wins, 9 draws, 19 losses. Scored 55, conceded 78, 39 points. With 2 games to play, United's record is 110, drawn 9, lost 17, scored 42, conceded 53. 39 points. Same points and wins, 13 fewer goals.
The only reason we've stayed up is because Southampton were piss poor, Leicester were shockingly bad, and Ipswich didn't win enough games. That's the only reason we didn't go down.
The worrying thing for me is that's probably going to be the team that plays the final in it. Unless, I mean, would you make any changes? Would you swap anyone out of that for you?
Would I personally?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I mean, I'd personally drop Hoyland.
Yeah.
And I'd put somebody there.
Like a curveball, you think?
Mainu in the false nine, Bruno in the false nine, maybe Garnacho down the centre. I don't know. Just something. Do something else where somebody can get involve themselves in the game and be more of an effective player. Right? Because Hoyland's just not going to be that guy. So I think that I could see Amrim starting Garnacho in the final as well.
You
could
think?
see that happen. I could.
Over Mount?
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't think Ahmad will get dropped. Ahmad will start.
Ahmad will start.
Bruno will definitely start. Onana will definitely start. And then you'd have to imagine Maguire would probably start. And then defense-wise, it's like, who do you start? Because Lindelof, pretty bad. Really pretty bad. But you haven't got a right back. So it's
Lindelof is awful. You know, he's really... Yeah. Lindesoft, victim, Lindelof, call him what you want. He is a shocking defender. How he's lasted at United for so long, I'll never know.
It's 7 years since we bought him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The same. That's what I'm saying. Shaw, Maguire, and Lindelof are still starting games for us.
Mad.
Still
mad.
I don't like.
The one positive, Aiden Heaven's back. That was nice to see.
Look shaky though. Positive. When he came on, no, he was shaky.
His first game back, so great. Also, that the pitch invader getting absolutely Bron Breaker speared by Stewart, that was quite nice. I enjoyed that.
That was like the I Show Speed moment when he got speared at the Rumble. Very, very similar.
I enjoyed that.
How important were Mount and Casemiro till they got subbed off? That's from Lumen. Yeah. I think Sam touched on that as well. Ruben said himself that the players can't do that. Choosing when to perform, culture needs to change, and the club needs to be brave. Did you see Amarin's comments before the game? And same question to everyone else as well. Like quiet, going on about Blackburn being nearly relegated and then winning the league. Going about Leicester being nearly relegated and winning the league, and then Forest, the situation there. What did you make of that?
I mean, I understand what he's doing. He's trying to spin the narrative, isn't he? Trying to change how, because let's be honest. If you look at any media outlet in a minute, it's pure negativity on United. Like every single one of them, even former players like Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, they're going in on United at the minute. So he's trying to circle the wagons and change the narrative a bit. I get it is possible, but my God, are we going to have a hell of a window in the summer to make that possible? But I don't see it personally. And I don't think he believes that fully either. I think he's just trying to change the narrative a little bit.
Well, I look at it, I see at points where he's coming from, because I think if you have half a competent striker up there today, let's say you just swap, I don't know, you swap Hoyland for Chris Wood there tonight, right? I know Chris Wood has had a good season.
We've got an extra, extra 10 goals. 10 goals this season, easy.
Not even just that, I agree with that, but like just the build-up. Playing it into someone, holding it up, letting players get up the pitch. When you have a striker, you can't hold it up, you can't win an aerial duel, a ground duel, anything. It's pointless. Because you start to make your way up the pitch, they win it straight back, and then you're sitting deep again, and you just can't get. You've got no outlet whatsoever because you can't build up and you can't go long, and teams know that. And if I'm Tottenham, if I'm Postecoglou, my plan straight off the bat in the final is press the life out of us from the front and force a mistake 100%. Because they'll get one. 100%.
Because they know we'll try and play out from the back, and then you'll fuck it up. Or we'll try and go long to Hoyland, which is essentially gifted possession to Spurs. So that's the plan. I've just seen Alice Talks Football. Fakir in the chat will be happy that I'm talking about her. Hoyland lost possession 13 times, more times than he completed passes, 11. That's shocking. That's fucking shocking.
I feel bad because, listen, Rasmus he's still, a young kid. He's still 21, 22. But it couldn't be more evident that he is just not ready to be a striker for Man United. He feels like someone, when you watched him today, like a striker who's come up from the Championship and he's our 9th choice one, and we've had to play him out of and we have had to play him. He has been the only striker that we've got, unfortunately. We haven't got anyone else. There's nothing. Maybe we could have done something about it in January, but it is what it is. We chose to let players go and then not really bring. I mean, we brought Dorgu in, but that's it. That striker department. I mean, you talk about recruitment heading into the summer. My God, that is the biggest one that you have to sort out by a fucking country mile, and not even just one striker. I said it in our group chat. You need a couple of strikers, don't you? You don't just need one.
Yeah, that whole forward line needs restructuring. Like, I'm either side. Like, your striker, you need one. You need one of those 10s, like where Garnacho is. Like, you need somebody there. Like, that whole forward line needs sort of fixing. And again, it depends on what happens in this final on Wednesday. Because if we don't get the Champions League, the caliber of striker goes down a couple of tiers, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the financial clout that we have to go out and buy these strikers goes down as well. So it's like, it depends on what happens on Wednesday. It depends on what type of striker we can bring in, because it goes from Osman Gyökeres level to, if we go out of it, you're looking at Jonathan David for free. That's the difference.
And not only that, the final is against a direct opponent. So if they go and win it, they then get into the Champions League. They then have a decent chance of bringing in these players, and then that becomes another team on top of the 15 teams that are already above us.
Then you're pushed into the relegation spot automatically.
I honestly, there couldn't be much more weight on a final, and I think the players know that. And even in a weird way, as bad as we've been, I still think we're going to win it. It's what,
like Chivy says, it's what we do, isn't it? We do this all the time. We have shit fucking seasons and play so terribly, and we get to finals and win. Like, we've done it so many times. So it would not surprise me in the slightest to see us win. Would not surprise me.
Well, it's a huge game, and of course we'll have the preview for that on Monday. It'll be a decent preview, but probably about an hour long, because there's a lot of things to discuss about that, like what players are going to be available, and hopefully we'll have some more updates on Euro and De Ligt and players like that, because you're going to need them. Tottenham as well, for anyone who doesn't know, they lost the game 2-0, so it's almost like it's the teams are outdoing each other to who can be the shittest, quite literally. Because we're still just above him. We're on 16th on 39 points. Tottenham 17th on 38 points. So, yeah. I mean, how bad is that going to look, Sam, if one of the teams don't win the Europa, and especially Tottenham, they finish 17th? It just looks catastrophically bad, doesn't it, for either side, whichever way it goes.
If Spurs don't win, it's essentially Postecoglou's sacked in the morning, isn't he? Like,
I think he's gone anyway, personally.
He might go anyway, even if he does win it. It possibly could, but he's definitely gone if he doesn't win it, because you cannot finish 17th as a Spurs manager, get to a final, and then bottle it. Like, you can't do that. He won't survive. So yeah, it's massive for both teams. But I don't even want to think about it yet. I'll think about it on Monday.
Well,
it was my birthday yesterday. I don't want to think about depressing shit.
No, you give it a few days, innit?
Yeah.
Give it a few days. I'll ask the chat. I'll leave you guys with that question as well. Has that filled you with any more confidence ahead of the final? Do you still think we're going to win it? Also, what are your plans for the final as well? If you are watching this live or later on, let us know in the comment section. Nave saying, bring Rashford back. Ahmad needs to stay right wing back. Cunha, Bruno in the 10s. Would take Cherky for 19 million too. Delap and Cunha instantly massively improves our forward line, and they're both fantastic at shithousery. I love, not unloved, need 23 likes, people. And as many likes as possible would be fantastic. Who's the best player on the pitch for you today, Sam?
Casado.
Casado won it. Casado was
Reece
good.
Reece James had a good game as well, I'd say. I think he had a good game.
I forgot to say as well, that bastard who I don't like, Cucurella, was the one who scored, which was annoying me as well. Why did he have
to score?
I hate him, me.
Bob looking.
I hate it, yeah. There's something about him I really don't like. And the fact he scored just made it even worse. But yeah, a frustrating night at Stamford Bridge. It was kind of half expected by a lot of people, but that was basically our strongest squad and probably the squad that's going to start in the final. So probably makes you a little bit more worried, but we've got 2 more games left, one being ginormous, that Europa League final, Spurs, Bilbao. Pray to the gods, anyone who is religious, anyone who's, do anything you can in this game to win it, because it's going to be so fucking miserable if we don't win that.
Brian Casey, he's going to do a live watch along in Dublin, himself and 2 other creators, 3 comedians and Paul Parker. Fucking hell, Brian. Nice of that. Well done. Yeah, so if you guys are in Dublin or you're in Ireland, go check Brian out and go do the watch along. Go for that. Yeah,
that's awesome. Love that, Brian. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with more breakdown and transfer news and stuff, and then obviously the big build-up towards the final in itself. So please do stay locked in, subscribed for all the post-match quotes and action from the game as well. Check us out on Instagram, X and TikTok, and me and Sam will see you guys in the next one.